Warning, the following program is designed for casual wrestling fans and is meant purely for entertainment. If you're SAWFT, proceed at your own risk. Viewer discretion is advised.
Brother, I'm going on a wild Hulk Hogan. If I get some moment, I'll make sure it's an explosion. Cause lately I've been seeing stars, trying to kick out on this joy cord. But it's no holds barred, middle fingers like I'm Stone Cold.
What is up, everybody? It is your host, WeTooDeep. As always, got DJWAVYD here with me. This is another episode of the Slap and Meat Wrestling Podcast. We're going to go over Survivor Series. We got some stuff to talk about with Raw. We got some more questions from the Discord. We look at the semifinals for Thirsty Tuesday. But before we get to all that, we got some housekeeping I need to talk about. And we got Let's Get Cooking. So let's start with housekeeping. Just a little bit of sort of updating you guys as we approach the end of what is going to be season 3. We have this episode. We have Friday's episode next Tuesday, next Friday. And then the final episode will be the 17th, which is the end of the year award show. And then we're going to take a little break, come back in January with season 4. The Tuesday show is going to remain the same as it always is, me and WavyD. Maybe some format changes, maybe some new segments. We'll see what comes to mind. The Friday show, pretty much going to be the same. More rants from me than anything else. But the new addition to content in 2025 will be, if you guys remember, like a year ago, I did a thing called Queen City Pro Wrestling. We're bringing that concept back, but it's a little bit different. It's going to be women's pro wrestling action is the name of the promotion, if you want to call it that. It's going to be women's only wrestling. Wavy D over here mentioned, like, can we run an all-woman show? And that got me thinking, let's try it. And so now we got 20 women on the roster. All of that's in the Discord already. The plan for that is to those are going to drop on Fridays as well, starting in 2025. And more details will come on that as I sort of plan it out over the rest of this month. And then just a reminder, I did today was my off day instead of Friday. Just a reminder, the Friday show is going to be a little bit weird because I recorded it this morning. And so it's going to be a little bit different than most Friday shows just because I had to pretend like I did this earlier. So, but with that, that's enough housekeeping. As always, links in the description for the Discord and the affiliate links for WWE Shop and Expedia. So let's move on to the Let's Get Cooking segment. We have 2 prompts this week. I couldn't decide which one I wanted to do, so we're going to do both of them.
Let's get it.
So the first one's a little bit easier, and it's going to take a little bit less time. What is your starting 5 with basketball season in full force now? What's your starting 5 of pro wrestlers? I'll let you start, and then I'll.
I'm not gonna lie, I took this as being like a Survivor Series team.
It could be the same thing
because we're like in Survivor Series season.
It could be the same thing.
It's just coming off of that. So I booked my ideal storyline driven heel Survivor Series team. Okay. So I picked the heels. I feel like they'd be a lot more fun, a lot more funner to book.
Okay.
And I just take like the top 5 heels, top 5 strongest men.
Right.
So I got a little bit of a story behind this in a way I could book the Survivor Series match. All right. So the team is Team Mysterio.
Okay.
Okay. Team captain is Dominic Mysterio, of course. All right, and his teammates in this fight are none other than Obafemi,
Okay.
Drew McIntyre,
Okay.
And his new henchmen to replace Finn Balor and Jay McDonough. We have Theory and Waller.
Okay.
So Dominic, Theory and Waller, and then the muscle of the group, Obafemi and Drew McIntyre.
So what's crazy is I have two of those same names. If we booked completely different things, I took this more, and I should have explained it better, as like a starting five like basketball roster. So I made this roster sort of like when I was playing basketball in rec league. The basketball's changed. I'm not a big fan of the new European style basketball that everyone's using now. So I went like old school traditional. Like, what are the purposes of these positions? And so let's start with the two names we have similar. It's the power forward and the center spot. They're irreversible. For me, the power forward and the center, they should be able to do the same thing. It's basic. I played center. I wasn't allowed to go off the block. I just ran back and forth on the block. I couldn't shoot past 10 feet. Was really useless other than rebounds. And so I have Obafemi and Drew McIntyre in this spot. So, now the rest of the position. So point guard. I know Steph Curry ruined point guard for everybody, but I consider a good point guard as a good facilitator. Someone like Rajon Rondo when he was in the Celtics. He couldn't really shoot, but dude was still going to put up like 12 assists a game. And so when I need someone, when I look at the world of wrestling and I need someone who can facilitate me a great feud or a great match, who do I want to call on? There's a reason Tony Khan calls on this guy, and it's Jon Moxley.
Okay.
I think he's a really, he'll come in. He may not put on the greatest matches, but he'll facilitate really good storytelling and really good feuds and be one of the top things for your brand. He did the same thing in WWE. Everyone loved him. Wasn't like the top guy, wasn't the best guy, but he was the guy that would guarantee you like really good, assist in storylines. Now, the shooting guard, traditionally, I think back to like the 08 Celtics, where we had Rondo, we had Paul Pierce, we had Ray Allen. The shooting guard's supposed to be your best scorer. Who could put on your best match? I got Seth Rollins in this spot. 100% of the time, if he's in a match, well, not 100, but 99.9% of the time, if Seth Rollins is in a match, it's going to be really good. So Seth Rollins is in this spot. And then your small forward, this is sort of like early LeBron James, where like he's the best guy on the court. And that's one person. Roman Reigns, the best guy in the ring, no matter what. So essentially, I have the Shield with Drew McIntyre and Obafemi. I think that's a perfect starting five.
That's a strong starting five. Let's see. Real quick, if I were thinking of like a little basketball team starting five, at my point guard, all right, the point guard, is someone who can make everyone shine, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No matter where you put him, what system you put in, he makes his teammates better. He makes everybody around him better. Okay? Who makes everyone around them better than R-Truth?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? No matter where you put R-Truth on the show, he makes everybody around him better. He makes them shine. He shines a light on them, okay? He don't got to do too much, all right? No one's telling R-Truth to go out there and give him 50.
Right.
All right? But he'll set you up to get 50, okay?
Right.
So you got R-Truth at the point guard. My shooting guard spot, okay? My shooting guard, like you, someone who go out there and get me buckets, okay?
Right.
If I say go out there and give me a 5-star match with a broom, they can give me a 5-star match with a broom, okay? And also, your shooting guard got to be able to talk a little bit of shit, all right? He got to be able to talk some junk, talk some shit, all right? Up and down the court. Give me MJF, okay?
Okay.
MJF is going to give you a 5-star match, and he's going to talk shit while doing it, okay? Now, small forward. Your small forward got to be able to play offense and defense, okay? You know what I'm saying? He got to be your backup scorer in case in case the shooting guard ain't putting his work in, He got to be able, to do defense as well. So who's a wrestler, excuse me, that I can rely on to not only put on a good match, but also who can also sell very well.
Mm.
Give me Randy Orton.
Okay.
Randy Orton, you know what I'm saying? He's like 6'8", you know what I'm saying? Ideal small forward height.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But give me like 2000 2005 Randy Orton. 2002, when he was fighting like Mick Foley in the hardcore match, when he was facing the Undertaker, Legend Killer Randy. Give me Legend Killer Randy Orton, okay? As my small forward. Power forward. You know what I'm saying? He's not a good guy. He's not a bad guy. He's the guy. Give me Roman Reigns at my power forward. And my center. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take this a little bit, of the new school. You know what I'm saying? I know you like your old school centers. I need me a new school center. I need me a big man who can do a lot of things a lot of things in the ring. You know what I'm saying? We're not only grabbing rebounds and blocking shots, but we're jump off the top rope and we're doing flippy flips. Okay. All right. Give me Dijak. Okay.
Okay.
Give me Dijak. You know what I'm saying? He don't got to get the most points, but he do everything on the court. You know what I'm saying? He's like a triple double machine waiting to happen.
Okay. I respect that list. That's good.
R-Truth, MJF, Legend Killer Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Dijak.
All right. So once this episode gets posted, and probably like Wednesday sometime, I'm going to put up a poll. I want to know who y'all believe has the best starting five. And we'll see here.
And then for next week, to bring to the show next week, a Survivor Series starting five for you.
Okay.
Okay, your team got to be faces.
Okay.
Because you're going against my heel squad of Dom, Obafemi, Drew McIntyre, and Theron Waller. And then for our Let's Get Cooking, we can book a Survivor Series match.
Okay.
Together.
I'm just gonna go ahead and give you my Survivor Series faces right now. We're just gonna bring Chase U up. We're gonna do Andre Chase, Riley Osborne, Duke Hudson, Otis. I really don't want to fucking put Tozawa in it, but fuck it. Let's put Akira Tozawa in this group. I'm about to get fucking destroyed. But we'll go with Team Chase U. And I think that'll work. We'll put up 2 polls. We'll put up 2 polls. Best Survivor Series team, face or heel, and then who won the starting 5 for basketball, me or Wavy D. Let's get into what's going to probably be majority of the rest of the show, which is we did the women's rumble a couple weeks ago. So now we got to do the men. So we're going to go through this men's roster just like we went through the women's. It's going to be a little bit longer. No, the rosters are about the same size, men and women, to be honest. So let me pull up SmackDown Hotel again. Now, there's going to be some of these NXT people that haven't hit TV that I'm just going to skip because they're on level up, and that don't count. They're definitely not going to be in the Rumble. So let's pull this up. We'll start with AJ Styles.
He's on the NXT roster?
Or no, on the men's roster. He's on SmackDown. But.
Sorry, so I heard you. I thought you were starting with NXT guys.
Yeah, we're just gonna do that. We're just gonna do it in alphabetical order.
No, I don't have AJ. I think he's still gonna be hurt. I try to get an update on his injury, but I can't find anything on the update.
Yeah, I haven't been able to find anything either. So, no. Akam from AOP.
Nope.
No. Yeah. Akira Tozawa.
No, he missed my list.
Same. Alex Shelley.
Yes. I got Alex Shelley, but I remember my list is currently at 37 with no NXT guys. So
right.
Alex Shelley's on a chopping block, but I currently have him in the Rumble.
Okay. I don't have him. Andrade.
Yeah, I have him on my list.
Yes, same here. I do believe Andrade will be in this match. Andre Chase.
No.
Yeah, no. Same for me. Angel Garza.
No.
Same. Angelo Dawkins.
Enjoys nice catering. You ever see those guys on what was it? Russell Holland, Russell
Yeah. Yeah.
and they go through the list and it's like enjoys nice catering. It's like fucking the whole roster. No, I currently have Dawkins missing the Rumble.
Yeah. I have him missing as well. This dude you just before we started recording, you just removed him, but Apollo Crews.
Yeah, bye Apollo.
He's in my list. I do think Apollo is going to be in this just as a body. Probably gets eliminated in 2 seconds. But do they call Ashante the Adonis back up?
No, not on my list.
No. Austin Theory.
Austin Theory is currently on my list. Yes.
He is also on my list. Axiom, does he get the call up?
No, he's not on my list.
No. I don't know why they changed his name. Humberto Carrillo. Don't know why they're just calling Humberto now. That's really stupid. But
no, he's not on my list.
Yeah, no, not on mine either. I also don't know why SmackDown Hotel has Bronson Reed as injured. He's obviously not injured. Is he?
No, they said he during War Games when he jumped off the the cell through the table that he possibly hurt one or both ankles a little bit.
Well, that's what happens when you 400 pounds jumping 30 feet in the air.
Yeah, at least he landed on the table more than Edge did. Edge fucking broke his
leg.
Right. But yeah, Bronson's a little banged up. Well, I guess we'll find out within the next Raw or two how he's feeling. But he is injured.
Yeah. So, do you have him on your list?
Yeah, I have him on my list. I think they didn't say broken; they just said he injured an ankle or two. So I think he might have sprained it or whatever. So he's currently on my list.
Yeah, he's there. Big E's here. I'm going to ask the question because he did show up on Raw. Do you think he's in the Rumble?
No.
Okay, yeah. Bo Dallas / Uncle Howdy.
He's on my list, but he's on the cusp of my list. He's a name that I might take off. I just don't know how I would implement him in the Rumble because I don't know. You could put him early on, just do the whole lights out thing, but I don't see it being necessary or valuable. I think it might ruin the flow if it's later on in the Rumble where you have some of the bigger names in the match. I mean, and also we haven't really seen any of the bigger names interact with Howdy yet, but I think it might ruin the flow if it happens during the Rumble.
Right. So this dude's technically not a wrestler, but I'm going to group all of these together. We got people like Booker T and Bubba Ray on here. Do you think we get legends in this Women's Rumble?
I could barely fit enough active wrestlers. So I don't have any legends on mine.
Okay, same. So we'll skip over those. Braun Strowman.
No, because he's still hurt.
Yeah.
I forgot what his injury was.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't think he'll be in it.
I think when he got hurt, they said something like somewhere close to like a year. I think when he originally got hurt.
Do they pull the trigger and bring Brock Lesnar back?
I currently have it as a no. Yep. I forgot if that picture was accurate or not when he was like all like not like kind of skinny. Remember, like he lost a lot of body mass.
He's lean as shit. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he's in wrestling shape right now. I think he's chilling right now.
He's enjoying life in Canada. I personally don't think he wants to come back. But we'll move on. Braun Breaker.
Yeah, he's in my match.
Yeah, definitely. Bronco Nima from OTM. Does he get called up?
No.
Yeah, same. No. Brooks Jensen from NXT.
No.
Brutus Creed.
I crossed them off my list. I had either him or Julius Creed. I have them both. I had Brutus / Julius.
Yeah.
But when I was narrowing down my list, I took them both off.
Yeah. So he was one of the ones that was like, I want to put him in there, but I just don't see where he would fit in terms of it. I think him being in there and being eliminated pretty quickly would sort of ruin his whole thing. I don't have him in there. Carlito.
I do think Brutus Creed makes an appearance, but I don't think he's in the match. I think he comes down to help Chad Gable.
Okay. I like that. Carlito.
No, I said no to him.
I have him in this year in the Rumble, just as I feel they need some of these bodies to get out quickly. He can be one of those. Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, I have Carmelo in here.
Yes, same here. Cedric Alexander.
Carmelo will probably be like one of the first 5 in the match.
Yeah, he'll probably go most of the match too.
Cedric, no, I don't have Cedric.
Yeah, no. Cedric, no. Chad Gable.
Yeah, I have Chad Gable in.
Yeah, Chad Gable in. Stax Lorenzo from NXT.
No.
Yeah, no, he's not in there. Charlie Dempsey.
No.
Does he get called? No. Chris Sabin.
Yeah, I have him, but again, he's on the cusp of being cut. So now I so far names we went through. Well, one name we didn't go through, but I just put him on here already. But currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 names with asterisks next to them. These are, once I get 7 names, I'll have my 30. But right now I got 5 of my
Right.
7 names on the cusp.
Okay. CM Punk.
CM Punk's hard. I have him in the match. I can easily see him being put into a story, but I think they're also going to try to limit his bumps so they can get him into Mania. So they're going to limit his actual matches. I don't think he's going to be in the Rumble long. And that's because of how I'm going to book him and Rollins.
Okay.
But yes, I see him Punk in the match.
Yeah, I have Punk here as well. This should be easy. Is Cody Rhodes going to be in there?
No.
No, it makes no sense. I think this is where we get Cody versus Randy Orton, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Does Corey Graves make a surprise entrance into the match?
No.
No. Okay. Let's see. Cruz del Toro from LWO.
No.
Nope. Damian Priest.
No.
Yeah, I don't have him either. I think he'll either be fighting for the title against Gunther or he will be champion at this point.
I have him either fighting Finn or being in a triple threat match
for the title.
Yeah.
Okay. Dante Chen. That's a no.
No, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, he that's a no. Dexter Lumis.
No.
Perfect. Dion Lennox from NXT.
No, I like him though, but he's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has nice look to him.
Oh, yeah, he's got star written on him. He's just too green still.
He's the one that if I remember correctly, he's the one who looks like a nerdy light skinned Sheldon Benjamin.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he that boy got the look to him. He got a look. Y'all hear it here first, okay? Of all the podcast talking wrestlers, Dion Lennox. Remember that name, 4 years from now, okay?
Dominic Mysterio.
Wait, did I keep him on the list? Yeah, he's on my list.
Yes, sir. He's on my list. Dragon Lee.
Yes.
Is that the speed? Is he speed champion?
Yeah. So he's trying to be a double champ.
I see you. I do have Dragon Lee. Drew McIntyre.
I think I erased his name when I was going through. Let me double check. Because I remember I started getting lazy and started putting first names. No, Drew McIntyre is not on my list.
Okay. I have Drew McIntyre on my list. Duke Hudson from NXT.
No. And the reason I don't have Drew McIntyre on my list is because I think him and Sami Zayn might have a singles match. If not at Saturday Night Live or Saturday Night Event, I think they'll have a match at Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. What about Eddie Thorpe? Does he get the call up?
No.
Yeah. No. Idris Enofe, that's a no. He hasn't even been on NXT here recently. Elton Prince.
No, I took him off my list, sadly. When I wrote all the names down originally, had to take him and his partner off.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a really slow year with tag teams in the Rumble. I don't think we'll get a lot of tag teams this year. Eric Rowan.
He wasn't even on the roster when I looked at it. Oh yes, he was. I skipped over all the Holly boys. Yeah.
Eric from War Raiders.
I sadly had to get rid of Eric and Ivar.
Yeah. Ethan Page.
Oh, that's a good name. He did not make my list just because no NXT guys made my list, sadly. But he is a name I could see, or I think he might be a post Mania call up.
Okay,
I see him being in the Stand Deliver card.
Yeah, I can see that. I do have Ethan Page in the Rumble. What about Finn Balor?
No, because I have Finn Balor either fighting Damien or fighting for the title.
I have him defending the tag titles because I don't see them losing them anytime soon. And so I think what Adam Pearce is going to do is force them to defend them. And so I think that's what he'll be doing. Giovanni Vinci.
No,
that man can't even get on SmackDown.
He was on SmackDown last week. Kinda. He was or no, the week before. He was in the background when Carmelo Hayes was talking shit to Cody, and Cody pressed him like Homelander. Giovanni Vinci was one of the boys Carmelo was talking to.
Grayson Waller.
Yes, I have Grayson Waller currently on the card.
Yes, sir. Same here. The same sort of thing with Cody here. Should be obviously a no, but it's Gunther going to be in this match.
No, I have him being involved in either against Priest or a triple threat match. Something I think he's going to be in the match, not the Royal Rumble.
So he's technically on the roster, but he hasn't debuted yet. Hikuleo.
No.
I think he debuts at the Rumble.
I mean, maybe debuts at the Rumble, but not in the Rumble.
I mean, okay, you good logic there, but I think he's in the Rumble. That's where his debut is. Is Dragunov back from injury at this point? I haven't seen anything. So
I thought he was another guy who was going to be close to a year because then he tear an ACL or something.
Yeah, I think it was an ACL. You already said you removed Ivar. I never had him on to begin with. Is Jacob Fatu in this match?
Originally, I wanted to take him off, but I think this Royal Rumble is going to be like where he kind of gets like that Kane treatment, where like he goes crazy, used as a showcase, where like he eliminates 7-8 guys.
Right. Is he going to beat Roman's? He's going to beat Roman's record for most Rumble eliminations in a Rumble?
What's Roman's record? Current 13 or something like that?
I think it's like 14.
I don't know. Be that high? I don't think it'd be that high because then he got to take out half the squad. Because I'm thinking if I'm thinking of the rest of the card, I'm thinking we get Roman Solo here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we get like Roman Solo, and then that's why I put Jacob in the match. But I didn't put the other Tongans in there. Like I didn't put Tongaloa or Tama
Yeah.
Tonga. I took them out, but I was like, Jacob could be a guy where they kind of start to build him in this Rumble, make him look strong and stuff. And then, with his, Rumble appearances, Rumble performance, he kind of gets the confidence and, might start questioning Solo down the line.
Okay. J.D. McDonough.
Yes, but I have an asterisk next to his name just as he's one of the first names I might cut out just because, like you said, with the tag team stuff or just not making it in general or just to watch Finn's back in the match later. But I think he's one of the names who gets cut just for, too many people on the roster.
Yeah. I don't think he'll be here. Does this NXT or does this Rumble get bouncy as Javon Evans in it?
No, I don't think Javon Evans makes the Rumble because I forgot where's Rumble again in Minnesota.
It is in Indianapolis.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Indianapolis. Yeah, I don't think Javon Evans gets in the Rumble.
Yeah, I don't. I think at this point, this might be a little bit of a spoiler for Friday's episode when I predict deadline, but I think Javon Evans is going to be one of the next NXT champions sometime next year. And so, yeah, it's a little too early to have him in this Rumble match. What about Jimmy or Jay Uso?
I got Jay. I actually don't recall seeing Jimmy's name on the roster, but let's say skipped over it. But I do have Jay Uso in the Rumble.
Yeah, I have Jay, but not Jimmy. Joaquin Wild, you think he makes it?
No.
Let's see.
Actually, I'm gonna add Jimmy Uso to my short list of names.
Okay. While you're doing that, we must assume maybe is John Cena going to be in this Rumble?
Yes, I think it's already being pre-announced.
Yeah.
Or he already said he was going to be in it.
Yeah, so Cena will definitely be in the Rumble.
He was the second name I wrote down.
Johnny Gargano.
Yes, but I have an asterisk. I don't think him and Ciampa's feud is big enough to be a PLE match.
Right.
But I can see their story being pushed inside the Royal Rumble match. So that's why I got both Johnny and Ciampa making it into the match.
Okay. We already talked about Julius Creed. Both of us are no's as of right now. This is a no, but I just want to mention him because the last time we saw him on a main roster, Braun Breaker killed him. Does our man Cale Dixon come back and get revenge? And no. I forgot he was on the roster, to be honest with you. Carl Anderson is hurt. Do you think he'll come back?
No.
Karrion Kross.
Yeah, I think he's in the match. I think he's the only member from AOP who gets in the match.
I don't have
not AOP. I mean Final Testament.
I don't have him here. Kevin Owens.
He's an asterisk just because I don't know where his.
Yeah.
Where he goes. I doubt it, but there's a chance. There's a chance he could face Randy at Rumble.
Yeah. So Kevin Owens is sort of like a name I cut off because I wasn't sure. I'm not sure if because I think we're gonna get Cody versus Randy, but it could be a triple threat and be Cody, Kevin, and Randy. It depends on how next Saturday night with Saturday Night Main Event goes.
I'm thinking we get Cody, Randy.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. I think they might push it out to Mania.
Okay.
I think we get. What do they call it? I think we get KO and Randy at Rumble.
Okay.
Or actually, no, scratch that. I think we get Cody KO Part 2 at Rumble.
Okay.
And I think Randy Orton returns at the Rumble.
Okay. You already said this. Kit Wilson. You had to take him off the list. I never had him on there. Kofi Kingston.
Yes, I have him in the match. You gotta do a spot.
I don't have him in the match.
Or does he do the anti-spot now?
That's what I was. That was my thing. Is like there's really no reason to have Kofi in there. Because the only reason you would is if he does his little gimmick of saving himself. But if he's going to go heel, which we'll talk about here in a minute.
Ooh, I'm cooking in my brain right now. I'm cooking. All right. So you know how you're saying, you could possibly have like, the Judgment Day defend their titles, but you can't really do necessarily a Kofi. I mean, a New Day versus Judgment Day. It's like two heel teams. Maybe we get like some kind of like Fatal 4 triple threat match. You could throw like the Creeds in there. You could throw Ivar and Eric in there. I know you just had one not too long ago, but you can do another little Fatal 4-way tag team match. Get these guys on the card.
Let's go another way. What if Adam Pearce is like, bro, you guys haven't defended in forever. We're going to do a gauntlet match, and you're going to be team one. You have to go through 5 other teams or whatever.
What if? Okay, I know it's too much cooking right now, but what if they did a tag team Royal Rumble?
That'd be crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
So is LA Knight in this Royal Rumble?
Yeah. His name is too big. His music's too good to the point where, when it goes off, the crowd pops. The Rumble is all about music going off and the crowd popping, cheering for the guy coming to the ring.
I get that. I think so. My answer is no chance, because I think he's going to be getting his rematch with Shinsuke. Let's see. Does Lexus King get called up?
No. Also, I think I saw they're having 2 Saturday main events. So they're having what I saw is they're having the one at the end of this year, like this week or whatever it is. It's at the end of this month, right?
It's next week.
Yeah, and then they're having one the week before Royal Rumble.
I didn't know that.
Because NBC wants to have like 4 a year or something like that.
No, I didn't know that.
And I'm pretty sure I forgot who was talking about it, who I saw was talking about it. Maybe was it WrestleMania? Maybe WrestleMania. They were talking about how Saturday's main event is going to be the week before Royal Rumble or something like that.
I ain't hear nothing about that.
I'll fact check it real fast.
Yeah, I ain't hear nothing about that. Let me. Now you got me searching over here.
Oh yeah. This is from Wrestle Talk, so take it as you will. Oh yeah, the news came out today. Like 5 different people have been reporting on it. It will be January 25th. The date has been out there for a while, but WWE did confirm it to me, addressing the special taking place so close to Rumble 2025. Meltzer explained the deal is that when they get to the date from NBC, that is the date they run. So NBC gives them the dates. WWE can't really say anything about it. So they're going to be having a Saturday main event before Royal Rumble.
Okay.
So maybe that's where we can get some of these like Ciampa versus Ciampa versus Gargano or the tag team matches.
Yeah. Logan Paul.
Yeah.
He
can't rumble without Logan.
I think this is where he makes his return to here. Let's see. Lucian Price, the other guy from OTM.
No.
Kaiser.
Yes.
I do think Kaiser's here. Luke Gallows.
No.
I agree. Why is my computer not scrolling down? So I can see the rest of this list. Let me refresh this screen then. I think my whole computer is frozen. That's wonderful.
I can still hear you and stuff.
Yeah, I can't
Continue.
switch. I can't switch tabs at the moment. Not quite sure how I'm going to end this podcast then, but
All right, guys. You know what I'm saying? We're still out here recording type stuff. It's your boy WavyD. So we're just gonna continue to go on the list of the WWE roster provided by the SmackDown Hotel. So to leave off where Nerdy D left off, not Nerdy D, sorry, WeTooDeep. He left off at. Let me sort this out. Just the men. Okay, we left off at LA Knight, Lance Anoa'i, Lexus King, Logan Paul, Kaiser, Luke Gallows. Okay, yeah, we left off at Luke Gallows. So as far as Luke Gallows, I personally don't have him in my Rumble. I don't think he makes it. It was like because his teammate didn't make it. Carl Anderson, Malik Blade, a guy from NXT. No, I don't see him making it. Mark Coffey, no. Michael Cole, no. Mike Rowe, no. The Miz, I have the Miz in there. I think the Miz makes it. Montez Ford, I have Montez Ford in it. You know what I'm saying? He can easily not be in it, but I have Montez Ford making it. Mr. Stone, no. Miles Bourne, no. Nathan Fraser,
oh boy.
Nick Khan, no.
All right.
Nico Vance, no. All right. So I kept going because it said that thing is still recording. So
it was. My whole Google Chrome just crashed on me.
So we left off at Ludwig. We
Yep.
both said yes. And then for Luke Gallows, no. Malik Blade, no. Mark Coffey, no. Michael Cole, no. Mike Rowe, no. The Miz, I said yes to the Miz.
I don't have the Miz.
You got the Miz. He sneaks out your list.
Yeah.
How about Montez Ford? He's the last name I left off on.
I do have Montez.
All right, and then I pretty much skipped over everybody else, and then we got to Noam Dar. He's injured.
So
and that leads to your boy Obafemi.
So I have Noam in here if he's healthy. I don't know if he'll be back. But I predict he'll be in the Rumble. I think that's where the rest of Metaphor show up.
Okay.
But Obafemi, I also have on here. I think he's going straight to the main roster. He hasn't been used in the World Heavyweight title picture. I think he's straight to the main roster after losing his title.
Honestly, I've made room on my list. I put a lot of asterisks of people that I've dropped down below 30. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna add Obafemi to my list.
You think his Nigerian brother Omos shows up?
Yeah, I have Omos on my list too.
I don't.
You need that tall guy for the story. Oh my god, how did you get thrown over the top rope? He's so big. You need that.
I feel that. My fear is that they're gonna fucking put Oba and Omos together, and I could see it working, but at the same time, I could see it completely ruining Obafemi's career.
You definitely need a good mouthpiece for that.
Yeah. Ora Mensa.
No.
I have him as well. I think both of Metaphor's guys are going to show up. I think all of Metaphor will be on the main roster at Royal Rumble. Otis.
Yeah, I got Otis.
Yes. Here as well is Pete Dunne in the
Yes. Yeah, I have Pete Dunne.
I put him on there, but I had to take him off to make room for the last dude I added on here. And we'll get to him here in a minute. R-Truth.
Did I put R-Truth? No, I don't believe I. Oh yes, he's on my list. I have R-Truth.
I don't. I think what's going to happen is he's going to come out as his little gimmick where he's not really a person. Like it's not his music, but he's going to come out or something's going to happen where he does something stupid and funny. Orton, I think Orton will be involved in some other match, or he's still going to be recovered. Yeah,
I think he returns by Rumble.
Yeah.
I think he returns in a Royal Rumble match from his injury,
Okay.
or he
Okay.
returns and maybe cost KO the match or cost Cody the match. Who knows? But he has an asterisk next to his name.
Right. Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, I have him in the match.
I don't have him here.
I think we build up to the final chapter of Dominic versus Rey Mysterio. Okay.
Okay.
The final WrestleMania chapter, and we finally get the hair versus mask match.
Okay. Rezar from AOP. Final
No.
Testament. Rich Holland, does he make his return?
Nah.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. Riley Osborne's going to be a no. Is The Rock going to be there?
No.
No. Is Roman Reigns going to be in this match?
No, I think he's going to be fighting solo.
So I completely didn't even have that cross my mind, because my whole thing is I believe Mania, and this is we'll come back to this discussion as well at one of our questions in Discord. I believe Roman's Mania match will be CM Punk, and I believe that gets solidified or teased again in the Rumble match. I think Roman will be there.
I think we get. I don't know, because I still think we get CM Punk versus Seth, because Seth is still on that. I don't see Sammy and Seth going all the way to Mania. I see Sammy and Seth, they had their thing last night. Now it's going to be Sammy versus Drew. I think Seth and CM Punk are still in the target zone. I'm holding out hope that we can get through this Roman and Rock thing. Finally get their match out the way, and we could carry on with real wrestlers. Not real wrestlers, but
right. Well, I feel that.
These other guys getting the main event spot.
I feel that. The reports are Rock may not even work this Mania, so until he shows up, I'm not gonna hold my breath for Roman versus Rock. So I'm looking at other storylines, and the only thing for Roman I can see is CM Punk. But we'll get to that in a minute. Is Sami Zayn gonna be in this match?
No, I have him fighting Drew McIntyre.
Okay. Santos Escobar.
Yes, I have Santos in here.
Yes. Seth Rollins.
No, I got him fighting Sami Zayn. Or no, sorry, not Sami Zayn. Oh, my bad, I messed up. Oh no, I have Seth Rollins in the match because I have him and CM Punk kind of tossing each other out.
Yeah, I do have Seth in here as well. The Shawn Spears come up from NXT.
Oh no. I think for a second.
Sheamus.
Yeah, I have him in the match.
I have him not in this match. I could see another IC title match in his picture, but I think ultimately he's going to win it at Mania, or I think what could happen is he wins it at Rumble off of Braun Breaker, and that's what puts Breaker in the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Shinsuke.
I have asterisk next to his name because he has the title now, so he could be in the match or he could be defending it.
Yeah,
but now that they have the Saturday night main event like a week before Royal Rumble, you might put that match there. Also, I think that's a good spot for him to put qualifying matches, or not qualifying matches, but these two guys fight and they get to draw a number or whatever. These two guys kind of do some of that stuff, like they draw numbers.
I like that. Solo, you said you had him fighting Roman, so I'm assuming he's not in the match.
No.
You any of the Tongans? I think you said no already.
No.
Okay. Ciampa.
Yes. Wait. I think so. Yes, I have Gargano, and I thought I put both of them in here, unless I just forgot to spell his name.
I don't have either. So,
I forgot to put Ciampa. He should be in here. Or no, wait. He should be in it. Oh, I guess I forgot to put his name. No, yeah, I got Ciampa in here.
Okay. Tony D'Angelo.
No.
No. Trick Williams.
No.
I have Trick Williams in the match. I think, and here's my reasoning. I go into more detail on Friday's episode. Like I said, I pre-recorded that. It's been recorded earlier this morning. So you'll get more information on why I believe this. I don't think he's champion. Okay, I'll give a sneak peek. I have Rich Holland beating him on Saturday. Because my whole reasoning for this is the first Netflix. The first Netflix ad has Trick Williams on it. I think he will be at the first Raw on Netflix. And I think that'll be his call up. I think this Saturday will be the last NXT he'll be at. I think Rich Holland will do something to where Trick Williams is like kayfabe injured, and then he'll show up on Raw in January. Tyler Bates still actually injured, so we'll pass him. All these other NXT guys will pass because they're going to be no's. Wade Barrett, does he make a? See, this is why this is my 30th guy. I have Wade Barrett here. I think the Mania match will be Wade Barrett versus Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
I think that's the next feud for Drew. Wade's been cleared to wrestle. So I think he's more likely than Corey, but I think one of the two will be in the Rumble match. Wesley?
No.
No. Wolfgang's a no. And then finally, Xavier Woods.
I have asterisk next to his name, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't have him either. All right. So let's get cooking. Hopefully there's not a lot of technical issues there. Let's get into our Survivor Series conversation. We'll briefly go over this. I, of course, have already sort of released my initial response on Sunday. So this is more so getting Wavy D's response. He did watch it, after the fact, not with the. So, what was your overall thoughts? And then we'll talk about some of these matches.
Yeah, I was out celebrating my boy's birthday. Shout out Sean Bannon. Saying shout out to the Burry gang. Yeah. So I came back home from celebrating. I watched the women's war game match that night. And then I was like, yeah, I'm too tired. I got to watch everything else tomorrow. So I woke up, saying 9 o'clock in the morning, watched the rest of the stuff. Women's war game match. It was definitely hindered and very slow and sloppy. It was hindered by the fact that they had Nia Jax start the match. Because she's a slow worker. Yeah. I've liked her push since she's been back from last year's Rumble. I like this run for her. It's been a good run, but she's not the type of wrestler that you start a War Games match with. Right. So I definitely think that they could have done better there. Maybe start off with like Bayley and Candice, or Bayley and Tiffany, Bayley and anyone else. Honestly, Bayley, Raquel. I don't know, but I think Bayley and Candice would have been a safer move. Start off with Nia was not a good move. They recycled the Io Sky spot from last year, which was also done worse this year. Yeah, because you kind of saw him from a mile away when she pulled out a trash can with a chain on it. So she could pull kind of pull it up there or hold on or put it around her while she climbed up the thing. Also, it looked very goofy when Tiffany was on the other side of the cage waiting for her to get set so they will jump off at the same time. Like, if it's not going to, not everything has to be. Sometimes, I know you got to suspend belief for a second and be like, oh my God, look at the thing. But it's like you got like your 5 girls set for like 10 seconds while you're still waiting for Io and their crew to get set up. Just jump off the cage. Just jump off, get the spot over with. And let them do their spot afterwards. Not everything has to be perfectly timed up. The Tiffany teasing a cash in. It was done good enough because the hardest part is going to be how you get the money to make
Yeah.
in the cage, which they did a decent job at by putting it in the trash can. But it was also kind of dumb because both the women's champions are on her team.
Right.
So I don't know if that would, even Michael Cole is questioning it. Like, would that
Right.
have
So,
ended the
so
match?
that's what I liked, was that Michael Cole asked the same questions I asked every time someone said she was going to cash in. Well, how does that work? Because if she pins her own teammate for a cash in, does that mean that they lose War Games,
Or is War Games going to put on pause?
or like how does that work? So I'm glad Michael Cole made it seem like that was a legitimate question.
Yeah, I'm
And
glad they teased it and didn't pull the trigger on it.
yeah, I figured they did it exactly how I thought it was going to be done. Both people are down. She pulls out the briefcase, questions who she's going to do it. Raquel stops it from happening.
We'll get an answer this Friday, but I do think the best way they could have ended that War Games was having Tiffy get pinned. Because if Tiffy got pinned, then she's the scapegoat and gives more reason for Nia to down talk her.
Yeah,
which then pushes Tiffy away more. It makes it easier for Tiffy to cash in.
I don't remember who took the pin.
Liv took the pin after Rhea pushed to the table. Yeah,
that's right. Because they needed fucking Rhea to get back.
Yeah,
but,
so I definitely think they missed opportunity. I think Tiffy should have took the pin.
Yeah,
whether by who, it doesn't really matter. It could have been by Rhea. I don't care.
Yeah,
I think Tiffy should have took the pin. On to the next match, which
U.S. title.
The U.S. title match. You give me Shinsuke, who's someone I don't really care about anymore.
Yeah.
And you give me LA Knight, who, I like his promo work, but I don't like his wrestling work.
Mm-hmm.
So when he's in a match with someone I don't really care about, it's just like I think LA Knight, his moveset, it doesn't really fit his body, fit his character.
And like his finisher's awful.
Yeah, his finisher's bad. Like his moveset looks like it was for a different person, but they copy and pasted it while creating LA Knight.
Mm-hmm.
So like doesn't fit his like build.
Well, then also like a big problem I have is Shinsuke's been back for like a month.
If that he's been for like 2 weeks. I feel like this match had 2 weeks of build.
You don't give me any reason to care about heel Shinsuke because he didn't have to. He just comes back as a heel. We don't explain what's wrong. The Mist isn't anything special. He's been doing that for like 4 years now. So, he comes in his first major match back. He wins a title. There's no storyline that we can see in the foreseeable future other than a rematch, which could, I guess, lead to Carmelo or Andrade, but it's the same like cast of like 4 characters. And all those matches have already been outplayed. I don't want to see Carmelo fight Andrade again for a number 1 contender. We've had 7 of those this year.
And they're all bangers.
Right. They were all bangers. I don't want to see it again though. So I just this whole US title picture post Logan Paul, and even with Logan Paul, it wasn't really clear where it was going.
Yeah, put the title back around Mysterio.
I wouldn't mind that.
Put the title back around Mysterio. Next we have the triple threat match.
Yeah, the IC title. Yeah.
The action was good.
I mean, the match was good.
But it was, this was the title I didn't think was going to change hands. Or no, This was the title I thought was going to change hands. I thought LA Knight was going to keep his title, which I should have known Shinsuke was going to take it. But I don't know. I felt like I feel like Braun wasn't going to lose it at this show. I feel like the show wasn't big enough for Braun to lose it, even though he lost it to Jay. But that was to push Jay's story.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like if they really wanted to do something, they would move the belt. Whether it be, I feel like that stage is too small for Sheamus to get his IC win. I do think Mania is the final place for that, but I think you should have kind of see what Kaiser could have done. I think you should give Kaiser the belt and see what he could have done.
So for me, I'm just tired of because we know this is Sheamus' story. It's gonna be his story till it actually happens. He's not gonna be world title picture any longer. And so it feels like anytime they need a new opponent, they just put Sheamus in the picture, and it just to me just give him the belt. and it doesn't have to be a long run. Like I guess he got injured during the match or banged up,
Yeah.
and it could have been one of those things where like, oh, Sheamus finally did it, and then the next night they come out and say Sheamus got hurt, and he has to, vacate the belt, and then you have Kaiser versus Braun feud over who wins it back, and I would be fine with that. And Sheamus can say I'm a Grand Slam champion, and then come back at the Rumble or whatever. I'm tired of seeing him in matches where after so many losses, like, I don't care about it anymore.
Yeah, and also this IC match felt like a Raw main event.
Yeah,
like it didn't really scream PLE to me because I feel like I've seen these guys all fight each other for the past 2 months.
Yeah.
So it seemed like a Raw main event. The next match was the
Drew Gunther, or not Drew, Damian Gunther.
Damian Gunther, which we've seen before. They did their thing for what it was worth, but again, it was another match that I've already seen.
But the same finish, that we've already seen.
Well, the same finish. Us, and then the only thing that like made this card watchable was the men's War Games match.
Yeah.
So which brings me to, out of the 5 matches, the only one I overly enjoyed was the men's War Game match. Everything else was below. Like say if it was like a 1 out of 5, everything was below a 2.5. You know what I'm saying? Nothing was breaking that barrier. Which leads me to say, I think Full Gear was the better pay-per-view.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And like, I came in here, and I like, if you guys can go back and watch the episode, I had some good stuff to say about Full Gear.
Yeah.
There some parts of it was slacking, but I definitely gave AW their props for that show.
So,
and looking back at it, AW was better than War Games.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I'm not the biggest fan of what happened at Full Gear. I mostly the ending. The ending confused me, but the ending of War Games confused me just as much. I've been a big proponent. You go to the Casual Wrestling Discord, you will see that I'm a big proponent of that finish was stupid. You go back to Sunday's episode, you'll listen to it. You'll understand. I believe that finish was stupid. There's no reason for the good guys to win there.
So I got the story that they're telling. I think they told the wrong story. Yeah. I think the bad guys should have won. I understand the evolution of like Roman and CM Punk, right? Like respecting each other or growing a mutual respect,
right?
But I feel like it'd be more satisfying long term for the heels to win.
So this is also another clue to me that I don't think that they're confident The Rock will be at Mania, because I don't see how long term this result gets The Rock against Roman. And so I feel like that's why the story's going to be Punk and Roman going forward. And what that favor that Paul Heyman owes CM Punk is. We'll transition with that into Monday Night Raw. How I'm going to start doing these, I'm going to ask these in question form of like the top 5 questions or whatever I have leaving the show. That's going to start next week, though, because my note that I have for Raw is the start of the show was great. Did you go back and watch the Punk promo?
I got the Punk versus Seth Rollins gist of it, and I saw what their interaction. I didn't see right before that when CM Punk was by himself. I assumed he came out and was like, there's nothing like being in so-and-so city on Monday night or what.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how much talking he did between that and Seth coming out.
Probably like 2 minutes.
All right.
But yeah, so you get the gist of that whole promo. I thought that was probably the best part of this Raw to me. So my note is the start was great. We got like 37 minutes commercial free. And the start was great. The IC women's bracket started. This bracket seems a little bit more easier to predict to me. I think
better wrestlers in it.
Yeah. I don't know what you think, but I think the finals, solely just because of the vignettes they've been pushing, It's going to be Lyra versus Dakota Kai, I believe. You can pull up that bracket and tell me what you think. But unless there's some surprise, and I do feel like Dakota did win on Monday. So I do feel it will be Dakota versus Lyra in the finals.
Let's see. So yeah, Dakota beat Shayna and Katana, and then you got Zoe versus Raquel versus Kaden.
But I think Zoe wins. I think Zoe wins that one.
I think Raquel might win that.
Okay.
Unless like Rhea costs her or something. But then like it makes kind of like if Zoe loses that, then PFC kind of looks like trash.
Yeah.
But I got Raquel winning that.
Okay.
So then you got Dakota versus Raquel, which is they got history between the two of them. And then Lyra, Zelina, Ivy Nile.
I think Lyra's winning that one.
Lyra, okay, and then versus Alba, Kyrie, Natalia. Kyrie just got pinned this past Raw.
That one's the hardest one for me to predict. That for like, part of me wants to say Natalia, but
and then then you got Lyra versus Natalia. They're both technically faces,
which is why the other side of my brain says it's probably gonna be Alba Fire.
I do think Lyra and Alba Fire can put on a banger match.
Yeah.
Unless you do a surprise and do like an Ivy Nile versus Natalia, and then you got Ivy Nile versus Dakota Kai in the finals.
Okay. I can see that. I just don't see them pushing American Made, but okay.
I mean, I do think the best matchup to get out of this would be Dakota Kai versus Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah.
And then you do the main event at Saturday night's main event is you do the titles at Saturday night's main event.
So this one, I don't think it's at Saturday night main event. I think
is the US one there? The US title one?
The US one is, yes.
So maybe this one's at Rumble. Do you push out the Rumble or do you crown them on Raw?
Well, let me see. So we got 3 more weeks of first round.
Oh, because Saturday's main event is next week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that means you have to finish the turn. Yeah. So you have all you have is next Monday finish. No, next Monday, and then you have the Monday after.
I'm trying to count the weeks because this might be the other Saturday night main event before Rumble. They might put the finals there. I know there's like 9 weeks in between pay-per-views, between War Games and Rumble. Let's see, so which would be this week, next week.
Yeah, Saturday's main event is the 14th, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got Raw next week where they run the other side of the bracket. Or no, they still did run 3 different matches, right? They only did one match.
So next week is Lyra's match. The week after that, I'm assuming is going to be Raquel's, and then they'll end with Natty's in 2 weeks. So that'll be the first round. So then the second round's 2 matches. So we're gonna have 6 more weeks. So it's gonna be like 2 weeks before Rumble when the finals are.
Yeah, so maybe they do the IC women's IC crowning match at the second Saturday's main event. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. So the rest of my note says the start was great, but I can't remember much of the last hour after the New Day segment because of how bad that story was. And I was so distracted the rest of the night. So we got to talk about this fucking segment. Because Wavy's over here, he's gonna try to convince you that this was some great storytelling, and I'm gonna let him give that explanation, and then I'm gonna go against it. Go ahead.
So, I mean, I guess the best way to tell you makes sense is give me the questions you have about it, and I'll use plot points to explain it.
Okay, so first off, it's not that the individual segment was bad. The individual segment made sense. The reason it's bad storytelling is because for the last 6 months, the entire teasing was one of them was going to turn on each other. And I don't know where in Triple H's understanding of human action and human nature that I can call you any name in the book one week and we just sit around and talk about it, and now we're best friends. And we're gonna go blame Big E. Big E didn't even have to be a part of this story, which is also part of it as to why I don't understand why this was the way they went. Where somehow in a period of a week we went from I hate you to now we're gonna both turn on Big E and blame Big E for this. I individually by itself in the vacuum of the episode it was great. But in the overarching 6 months of this story, you just wasted my time waiting for a feud that now isn't going to happen. And we lost Wavy D. We have the Beyond the Junkyard. There we go. And we got that Beyond the Junkyard connection, I guess, this week.
I know what's going on. So here's Uncle Wavy to break it down for all my nephews out there. Okay. So you have Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston having that slow burn over like the last 4 months, okay? Of Karrion Kross was getting Xavier's head. Xavier was, starting to, see like, hey, maybe I don't have to play by the rules. Maybe be Mr. Nice Guy. Maybe if I get a little more edge to me, I can start, seeing that winning culture a little more, getting back to my winning ways, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then along the way, he tries to talk Kofi into it. He's like, yo, Kof, come on, like we've fallen off of our glory days. We need to get back into it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's time to stop being Mr. Nice Guy. Because, with Adam Pearce running the show, you don't get too many chances twiddling your thumbs waiting for your turn. You gotta take your turn, okay? You gotta take your chance. You gotta go get it. And Kofi being the ultimate baby face, you know what I'm saying? At first, he was on board with this. He was like, Woods, we've gotten to the mountaintop, doing stuff the right way. We can get there again, yada yada yada. So, you have ideologies over the past 4 months that are, coming to a slow burn, and building a climax is building. Well, guess what? We've been at home watching Raw every week, right, for the past 4 months, seeing this rift between the two characters. We're seeing this stuff. You want to know who else is at home watching Raw, seeing their brothers, going through some hardship and and start getting at each other and being out of character? Big E. Big E is watching Raw every other week. All right, I'm guarantee he's keeping tabs on Monday Night Raw. Because if he didn't, well, guess what? Then he would have a job doing the PLEs. He would have a good job doing PLEs. So he's watching the shows. He's noticing that, hey, my New Day brothers who were main eventing or being marquee matches of PLEs, fighting for titles, having TLC matches and Hell in a Cell matches, being like 14-time champs. They can't even sniff a pre-show. They can't even sniff a PLE nowadays. They can barely sniff being on TV. He's watching the show. He's watching them get at each other's throats. He's watching the tempers burn and the blood boiling. Guess what? He'll pick up the phone. He'll make no phone call. He'll reach out to Woods. He'll reach out to Kofi. Okay. And at first, I don't think Woods and Kofi quite notice it. You know what I'm saying? Until they finally get to the point where everything boils over, and they crash out at each other, and then it clicks. You know what I'm saying? They sit down, they're talking, and it clicks. This all could have been avoided if Big E reached out sooner. If Big E checked on us, you know what I'm saying? We were there every step of the way when Big E got hurt. Okay, and now this man kind of forgot about this. Now that we had a big splat on TV and we cursed each other out, now does Big E want to show up at a 10-year reunion and talk about being our manager? All right, where were the last 4 months when we were down our luck, barely getting on TV, making ends meet? Where were you, Big E? You was sitting all comfy at your desk job, taking Christmas pictures with your new girlfriend, okay? some cringy photos. I might have some very cringy photos. All right. Big E was sitting back chilling. All right. He ain't saying nothing until it's too late.
So I get that. I completely understand. My question is, at least two not fucking adults. Big E got to babysit them. Big E got to check in on them all the time. Like, I just this isn't how human nature actually works. Like, I'm gonna straight up tell you right now, if me and Cody had the type of fight and he started calling me shit and saying, yes, the reason you lost to Brock Lesnar in 6 months or in 6 seconds, we ain't talking again. We ain't talking this out and blaming it on a third party. This isn't Big E's fault.
It didn't come to blows. I feel like if it didn't come to blows, you know what I'm saying? If you get to the point where you argue but you don't throw fists, I feel like you can mend that. Especially when you got 10 plus years of friendship like these guys got. 10 plus years of brotherhood. You know what I'm saying?
I just, again, the segment made sense. I don't question the segment. The individual in the vacuum of the segment was great. But the overarching story, you basically led me along to believe that these two were going to fight each other. And you led me on for 4 to 6 months, wasting my time with you know, making Kofi look stupid, making Woods look stupid because they were getting distracted in the ring, losing matches. And now they're buddy again. I don't know how Triple H thinks relationships work, because he's done it multiple times now in the last month, where, you know, Bianca is going to forget about a year-long feud with Damage Control. Bayley's going to forget about Io turning on her. CM Punk in the same match that Roman disrespected him and he disrespected Roman. Now they're best friends. And now a week after you start calling each other out, you're best friends again. That doesn't.
No, but you're missing the point. They're not best friends. Okay, they're not best. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're like all is forgiven. You know what I'm saying? We can still lead down the path where we get Woods versus Cody, or Woods versus Kofi versus Big E. We can still get to that stuff. That stuff isn't fully out the cards. All right. Like, do I think that this Triple H is playing from the very beginning? No. Do I think he calls them audibles along the way? Yeah, I think Triple H calls them audibles. But in the grand scheme of the story makes sense. The story is coherent. The story, like, there's not too many plot holes in there. I think it all can be explained through storytelling, and I think it all did get explained. You know, do I think that they're gonna try, you know, throw what's his name in there, Ozzy Jones, for his everything happen? Yeah, which I think have caused, you know, Xavier to split off a little sooner. You know, so I think in the meantime they did call it audible. And then, you know, they reached out like, hey, how can we get, you know, how can we change Kofi and Big E's role in this?
I just don't like the whole, we're gonna blame you because you're not checking up on me because you're doing your job. He's an ambassador of the company. This dude's running UFL events in Michigan where he's literally hired by the Michigan Panthers to be their DJ, and he's
but
representing.
You tell me he got 5 minutes to make a quick phone call. He's on these private jets going back and forth.
Bro,
he can't make a quick phone call.
Look, I'm a straight up tell you, I guess I'm a bad friend. I don't call nobody.
A quick text.
Look, if you don't give me a reason to worry about you, I'm not going to call you.
You're not worried about your bros when they're on national TV.
They're grown adults. They can handle this shit themselves.
Okay.
I'm not your babysitter.
I'm not saying he'll be a babysitter, but he offered. At the end of the day, he did offer to be their manager and manage both of them back to success. Also, I mean, if you want to be like a nerd, I sent that thing in the Discord earlier. How there's a possibility that, you know, Kofi, Xavier, and Big E are getting creative influence from that Dragon Ball Z storyline. I dropped that TikTok in the chat.
I got time to watch it. I don't got time for that anime shit.
Because low key, Kofi was wearing the Majin Buu necklace in the ring the past couple weeks.
Look,
he was wearing.
So if they're gonna start running these anime nerdy ass storylines, I'm out. You lost me.
There's a difference between saying you don't like the story, the story don't make sense. I'll let you slide, but you don't like the story. But you can't tell me the story don't make sense. The story makes sense.
The segment makes sense. I don't think the overarching 6 months of the complete long-term story, the cohesiveness of the story, it doesn't make sense at all, in my opinion. But let's move forward to the questions from the Discord. 2 from B Master this week. First one is, do you think we will ever get to see the women bleed in WWE the way we see men do it? So, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre type bleeding.
I mean, we've seen it a little bit, but say when Rhea got jumped in NXT and in the back, in the car, and she's like all bloody and stuff. I think we'll see like some cinematic blood. I don't think we'll see them do like a blade job on TV.
Right.
I do think that if they bleed the hard way, the WWE will let it go and maybe just bring a towel in to wipe their face a little bit, like they did to Drew and Hell in a Cell. Yeah. But I don't think that they're gonna start doing blade jobs.
Right.
And if they do, it's gonna be very, 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 very seldom. Very once in a freaking long time.
So my question with this, first off, is B Master. I don't know about you. I'm not a fan of this idea of like women beating each other to bleeding. Like it's a very minority opinion, and so I'm not a big fan of like women in like MMA or boxing. I'm not a big fan of it. I think every now and then you'll get a very good match. We just had one at the Mike Tyson fight, but even still, then that cut on that girl's face was gross to look at. I'm not a big fan of seeing like women beating the shit out of each other.
I am.
I just I don't see what the appeal of seeing women do that to each other. I don't understand it, but even without that, because of the type of programming they're doing, I think WWE is very, very cautious with how they present their women. This is why I don't think we'll fully get into intergender wrestling in WWE. I don't think they want to, with them being a public company, they can't do what AEW does.
I think it has to be the right women. I think they can get away with it if it's like a Rhea or a Shayna or a Zoe. Like, I don't think you're gonna have like the pretty girl be all bloody, have blood in her blonde hair, looking all wild. I think it's gonna have to be these rough girls.
I think the reason we haven't seen it is because WWE answers to shareholders who don't want to answer the questions from media or people just, you invest in this company that promotes, and we know how stupid the IWC can be. Oh, they're promoting women beating, when that's the whole premise of the sport, is that one, it's fake, it's predetermined, it's choreographed. But we know how stupid that people can get with this business. So yeah, I don't think personally it'll ever happen, and quite honestly, I hope it never does. I'm not a big fan of it.
What are your thoughts on like the cinematic setup blood? Like, say when Rhea got jumped in NXT, she had Crimson Mask on, but we obviously know it was fake because it was set up that way.
I wasn't against it. But I also think like cinematic versus like watching them blade each other, or like,
or knowing it happened because of a blade job.
Right. I just personally, in general, I'm not a big fan of blading in the first place. I'm more of the Vince McMahon type that we don't need blood to make wrestling look cool. So I don't know. It's an iffy subject. Rhea, I think Rhea's one of the ones, because she's been booked so strong, that it makes sense for her to have the cinematic blood. But I don't want to see it all the time. I feel like a lot of people want this like world where like every single week there's blood, and to me that ruins the effect. And
I'm okay with the Becky Lynch blood, like when Becky got busted by Nia the hard way. I'm
Right.
okay with that.
If it's
But
accidental, yeah.
I don't want to see the John Cena versus JBL Crimson Mask.
Right.
I'm not trying to see them in a Crimson Mask, but I'm okay with seeing if they get roughed up the hard way, not stopping the match, letting them go. I'm okay with
Right.
that.
Yeah. If it was like an accident, like Britt Baker, where she literally ran into an elbow on accident in a battle royal or whatever, or Becky Lynch gets ran into Nia's fist just accidentally and breaks her nose. Yeah, that's fine. Especially when you have someone who can think forward like Becky Lynch to like smear it all over her shirt and her face and like make something out of it. B Master's second question, I think this one's an easier question to answer. What do you think Punk is going to ask Heyman in return for helping the Bloodline?
A match, something, a title match.
So,
or a main event. I think Punk can get the title match on his own. I think that main event.
This is 100%. I think obvious at this point, based on Punk's promo yesterday. So, what he said in the 2 minutes you didn't watch when he was in the ring himself, essentially, he said he's thinking about Mania, and there's several ways for him to get there. He talked about the Royal Rumble, and he pointed to the invisible WrestleMania sign that's not in the building, and then said he had some favors he could cash in. I think what the favor is the WrestleMania main event against Roman Reigns. I think there's a lot of story behind it. If everyone remembers when Punk left, he stormed out of the company because Batista took his main event from him. Even though he wasn't actually scheduled to be the main event that year, he was scheduled to face Triple H. And that's why Daniel Bryan ended up and all that. But he was upset that Batista came in and won Royal Rumble that year. And so that's why he left after that Rumble. And so that's always been his biggest complaint is he felt that he deserved the main event at Mania, and I think he's going to use politics backstage with the favor to Paul Heyman to get that match. I think that's what we're gonna get.
What if looking to like an alternate universe where I brought this up in the Discord the other day, like a four corners fail four-way match. Remember how it was at WrestleMania 2000 or 2002 when each McMahon had like a were bid for a wrestler? It was like I think Linda had like Cactus Jack, and one of them had the Big Show. One had Triple H, one had like Stone Cold or whatever, or something like that. You remember that Mania?
Very vaguely. Not.
I want to say it was Mania 2000. That's
okay.
That's what's connecting in my brain right now. But say you kind of have like a person who's representing each wrestler, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have Nick Aldis who's trying to put someone in the main event. You got Adam Pearce trying to put somebody in the main event. You got Paul Heyman advocating on behalf of his person. And say you got TKO trying to get someone in there, or Triple H trying to get someone in there. You know what I'm saying? I think especially if The Rock is not going to be in it, right? Say you got Nick Aldis trying to put somebody in the match. Say Cody Rhodes, right? For example, Cody Rhodes, and then you got Adam Pearce trying to put somebody in the match. Say Seth freaking Rollins. You got Triple H trying to put somebody in the match. Actually, give Cody to Triple H and give Nick Aldis like Roman Reigns or whatever. And then CM Punk's favor, get me in the match, and Heyman is like representing CM Punk or whatever. I don't know. This way you got all these guys with kind of history, a big fail four-way match. I don't know, you kind of put different people in there, but like just everyone kind of has a person that they want in the match. All these guys have history with each other. I don't know. You got to do a lot of storytelling to set it up. But I wish we kind of had like that struggle for control almost, because that's what the McMahons were doing. The whole setup to that Mania was which McMahon was gonna have control of the company kind of thing. And so, you had Shane, Linda, Stephanie, and Vince, and they all had kind of someone fighting for them, and whoever won was controlling WWE or with WWF or whatever. I don't know. That was a little side thing.
I mean, it'd be interesting. I don't know if that's the route we go, but I think that's the favor is Paul Heyman's getting him in some sort of match against Roman Reigns, or maybe it's just a match against, the main event, maybe against Cody or something like that. Who knows?
So we're thinking what Cody versus Randy at Mania. We're thinking Punk versus. I still think Punk versus Rollins, but I mean, because I'm still holding out hope for The Rock. But if The Rock doesn't do it, Roman versus Punk. Is there a world where we do Roman versus Punk versus Rollins, or is that just too many people in the kitchen?
I mean, I could see it happening.
I would like to see all them get their own. I would like to see all them get their own matches.
Yeah,
finish their own stories.
Yeah. We shall see. Let's move forward. Let's end the show with Thirsty Tuesday, like we always do.
Oh, I had a good week.
We're in the final four, and Wavy D's basically trying to put the final nail in my coffin. I'm down to one person left in this final four. He's got 3. So we got Jennifer Lawrence versus Scarlett Johansson, both from his team. Either one is a good representative for him to be in the finals. That should be an interesting vote. And then Vanessa Hudgens versus Haley Steinfeld. That should be a good vote as well. I would not be upset if Vanessa won, to be honest with you. So that vote's up live in person. I know Wavy D wanted to leave it to the group to decide last week. I'm fine with that as well. We'll wait to see the vote. I'll come in if we have any tiebreakers, and I'll break the ties if I need to.
I'm not gonna lie, Haley Steinfeld has gone up against some top tier competition to make it to where she is right now.
Yeah.
She had to go against Tiana Trump.
Yeah.
Zendaya.
Yeah.
Haley Walsh.
Yeah.
Now Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah. It's a hard-earned place where she's at in the Final Four.
Now, do you think Haley would have been where she is right now if Sabrina Carpenter made it out of the second round?
If Sabrina Carpenter won the second round, I 100% believe you would have all 4. 100%. Because I remember when we started this, I thought Sabrina Carpenter was winning the whole thing. But we shall see. That vote is live. Any final thoughts before we get up out of here?
Shout out to Hannah Storm. You know what I'm saying? shout out to the WPWA. You know what I'm saying? Women's Pro Wrestling Action. You know what I'm saying? Kind of a mouthful. We got to work on a abbreviation for y'all. You know what I'm saying? We might need instead of how we had TNA Impact. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know, WPW Action. I don't know. Maybe you drop. We got.
We'll figure something out. We'll figure something out.
What's the name of the show?
That's part of the stuff I'm still trying to plan out. I don't know yet. But that virtual 2K thing, just some it's going to be very match oriented. It's really hard to tell stories if you're not able to do a lot of these creators can do. I don't know how they do it. The free moving of the wrestlers to do promos and shit. I ain't got all that time. So we just going to.
You be watching that one guy?
Yeah.
Does what if
what if whatever
together?
Yeah.
That guy nice.
He got a lot of time on his hands. I don't got that much time. So it's going to be very match centered, sort of record based. What if MMA or Bellator turned into WWE predetermined matchups, and it's really going to be very record based. But what AEW promised to be. But we'll get that started next year in January. But until then, thank you all for listening. As always, like, share, subscribe, leave us a review if you're on audio. Share, like, subscribe. You know the deal. Click the links, join the Discord. It's where you can vote for Thirsty Tuesday. And with that, also enjoy these long episodes. You got 2.5-hour episodes coming this week. So enjoy all of that. And we will see you guys next Tuesday with another episode here from the Slappin' Meat Wrestling Podcast.
So hit that subscribe, come along for the ride. AEW, WE, we're always on side. From fantasy booking to baddies that slay. Slappin' Meat Wrestling every Tuesday.